for better or for worse, that's now a thing on the internet. If you don't know who Adam Neeley is, I'm sure that video is really confusing, but you really should check out his stuff. He's a YouTuber, he's a musician, and he's got some great educational videos. I can't tell you how much I've learned from his channel and how much I've been inspired by his channel. And that's what this video is kind of a testament to. A while back, he did a video called The Music Theory of Vaporwave, in which he talks about plunderphonics, the idea of taking somebody else's thing, stealing it, and kind of repurposing it and repackaging it into your own unique, distinct kind of art. So I decided to steal his video on plunderphonics and repurpose it into this lo-fi jazz song. Very meta, right? I also stole some of his other music from his channel. He did a song where he wrote an entire piece on a Casio keyboard and he used all 12 minor chords. So I used that as basically the foundation of the entire beat that you heard. Now, I'm not going to walk you through every single step I took to make this, but I do want to give you a rundown of how I was able to make this, because to me, this was always like my favorite kind of YouTube. Going back, you know, stuff like The Whistles Go Woo with Bub Rub, Ain't Nobody Got Time for Dat, anything that Auto-Tune the News has done, that's like my favorite kind of YouTube right there, where you take a video and you turn it into music. And I don't have a lot of experience doing that, so this was kind of a project in plunderphonicking Adam Neeley's video into a genre that I kind of enjoy, which is that lo-fi jazz hip-hop. So let's talk about how I actually did this. The first step was to steal Adam Neeley's stuff. And to do that, I found the video I wanted to steal, and in my browser, I just deleted the letters UBE from the link. And what that does is it takes you to a site that'll allow you to just download that entire video as just an audio form or a lower resolution video form. So I stole both videos. I took the Casio keyboard part out, isolated it, and then slowed it down substantially, because that gave me that lo-fi, weird vaporwave feel that I was going for. Once I slowed down that beat, I chopped it into just a 2-chord section. I didn't want to have to go through all 12 minor chords like Adam did. And then I put a high-pass filter on that track after I chopped it up. Now what this did is it basically completely removed the kick drum, and it also removed the bass note. And the bass note is what we're giving those chords context. So without the bass note, I was free to reharmonize some of those notes and turn it into its own chord. So for example, like the first chord you're hearing here after it's been slowed down as a B flat minor. But if I do a high pass filter on there and get rid of that bass note, I am free to put in a D flat note on the bass and surround it with the notes of a D flat major 7, and now all of a sudden that chord starts to have the context of a D flat major 7 with an added 6th in there. So now my chord progression was basically D flat major 7 to C minor 7, which is a weird chord progression to start off with. I arranged that chord progression for jazz guitar and then played it really fast and then slowed it down so it ended up at the right key and at the right tempo. Once again, that gave you that choppy, weird lo-fi feel. From there, I added in a kick drum to a pattern of my liking, and I also reinforced the snare drum that was in the original Casio keyboard part. And then I added in a really simple bass line. It's basically just a synth bass that blasts away at the root note, and then occasionally there's a little descending arpeggio in there. But what helped me get that lo-fi sound going here was to really sidechain compress everything. Every time that kick drum hits, you're gonna hear the bass gets ducked down in the mix, the guitar gets ducked down in the mix, and that's just one of those things I've heard a lot in that lo-fi music, so I figured I would just implement it here. Also, one of those signature characteristics of that lo-fi music is that the kick drum is usually off time. It's usually a little late on the beat, so I did just slide everything over a tiny amount to kind of give it that disjointed lo-fi feel. So that gave me the instrumental track, all right? But it doesn't explain how did I get Adam's voice to actually be musical and get the video to sink in there. Well, once I had my song that was composed off the Casio keyboard thing, I imported that into a video editing timeline, and then I grabbed the Vaporwave video with Adam Neeley, and I just started chopping up parts that I thought might work. For example, when he says the word vaporwave, I thought that would work because it's 3 nice syllables, vaporwave.
Vaporwave.
So I took that and I put it in on the 1 beats, and it happened to be nice and in time. There were other parts that were not in time though, like that phrase he uses, the transitional state between wakefulness and sleep. That's not metronomical. So what I had to do was kind of put some gaps in between his speaking so it actually fell on the beats and therefore sounded a little bit more musical. After that, I added in some more little samples of video that I thought would work musically, and then I exported all of that audio into Ableton as its own track. From there, I was able to do pitch correction, I was able to add vocal effects, compression, equalization, delay, all that sort of stuff to make his voice sound not just like it's a voice speaking into a microphone, but something more musical. So there it is, the process that I took to turn Adam Neeley into a lo-fi jazz singer. I don't know if this is the most efficient process to take. You know, this isn't really my skill set, musicifying videos, but it was really fun. I learned a few things in it, and I got a cool lo-fi beat out of it. And in the off chance that Adam Neeley actually sees this video, well, I hope you take it as a compliment, because that is what it is intended to be. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from it. If you did enjoy this video, of course, you can like, subscribe, comment, or you can check out my Patreon and support me there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.